Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Three Idiots Talk Aquariums podcast. It is
Why are they not
fabulous to
waving?
have you guys with us. Ryan is waving to you all. So if you're listening on the podcast feed, I hope you know that he's waving to you. Hope
I'm
it makes you
supposed to
feel better.
wave. Cam
We
says I
don't.
have to wave, and then I
I
don't like
said
waving, but I'm
I said I
waving.
didn't need. I said I didn't need you to wave today.
Uh,
Just causing
well,
trouble, eh?
Yeah.
I'll just this is just like being in a relationship. It's never good enough, is it?
Go put on your tinfoil
You
hat.
want me
and
to
put on
wave.
a bike helmet.
You want me to wave, and then you don't want me to wave, and then I wave, and you tell me that you don't want me to wave. It's like,
Classic. All right. Well,
anyway.
we may as well get right into it. So, what have you guys had going on recently? Any exciting stuff going on for you in the fish rooms?
My most exciting thing is my Lawanda. One of my Lawanda is holding.
Oh, nice.
And they have been probably I can't even remember how long I've had them, years and years and years, and they're quite old fish, and they've never bred that well, and I've bred them a couple of times, and then I've lost the fry. Always lost the fry for various reasons, not really knowing half the time what the reasons are. But I had 3 females survive or something in my tank, and one of those young females is now holding. So
Oh, nice.
I'm probably going to catch her and put her in her own tank today, just
So,
to give her the best chance.
so for those people listening who aren't cichlid people, what is a lawanda?
It's a fishy.
Well, cool. All right.
It's
But
not
no,
a gua.
describe it.
It's not a guami.
All right. 10 out of 10
That's
educational content.
That's it's a really cool peacock. African peacocks are like, and they're just real badass. Just get real big and real colourful and long flowing fins and stuff. So pretty
Yellow
awesome.
and blue mostly is the colors in question.
Yeah.
I thought they were yellow and purple.
Ish,
Mm.
yeah.
Suppose
So
it depends on who you ask. But yeah, what have you had going on recently, Cam?
I've been baby making.
Right.
If that helps. Well, that's
With
not
the
true.
fish, I assume?
Yeah, I've been egg making.
Nice. And how's that been going?
Yeah, it's good. Seems to be having no issues getting eggs. It's getting them to hatch. That seems to be the problem.
Nice. Is this for a particular species or just like across the board?
Struggling to hatch a few cories. They just don't seem to want to hatch, particularly the albinos. I'm questioning the fertility of them. And I had my glow light danios spawn the other day, and they should be due to hatch at the moment. I've got my fingers very tightly crossed, but we'll see how we go.
Nice. So they're cool fish. I really like. Well, all danios I really like, but glow lights are especially cool.
I agree. So
nice, fun little fish for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, any others? Any other exciting breeders going on, or?
No, I put my honey grammies together yesterday, and they're looking like they want to spawn. It's a better attempt than the first attempt when the male tried to kill the female in about 20 minutes or so. So we're into day 2. They're looking pretty comfortable together. I haven't got a bubble nest or anything like that just yet, but he's looking really colourful and she's looking really plump, so hopefully not too far away.
So it's good signs at least. Yeah. Oh, how's your CPDs going?
They haven't spawned since I moved them. Apparently they hate me for moving them.
Fair enough.
We'll see how we
I
go.
wouldn't want to get moved if I was near them either, to be fair.
Yeah. I moved them from a lovely 65-litre tank that they used all of probably 5 centimetres of to a 20-litre breeding tank, which they can use the whole tank of, and they still only use about 3 centimetres of it. So, they haven't enjoyed moving, so we'll see how we go.
How long ago did you move them?
A week and a half ago.
Oh, yeah. They probably just need some time to figure out what's going on and everything like that.
I would have thought so. We'll see how
That'd be a
this.
bit more on the shy end for a lot compared to a lot of fish, eh? Like compared to a lot of other tetras and stuff like that.
I've got some
Yeah.
more tanks arriving today, so I'll be able to stretch them out a little bit and maybe give them a little bit more room or work something up for them. So we'll see how we go.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Where are you
Well-
getting more tanks from?
Local dude is selling up his fish room. So
Oh, is that a lot you were telling us about the other day?
yeah. So cleaning out that lot from him. Get that sorted and away you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Way
you can always do with more
Someone,
tanks, can't you?
Yeah. You wait
Thomas-
in 3 weeks' time, I'll go, oh, I don't have enough tanks again.
Thomas sent me a link to a 3,500 litre tank that you should probably buy for the shop. Did he send you that?
Yeah, man, that's huge.
Yeah, I think you should buy that for the shop.
Yeah, I don't think I should because it'll take up my shop. Like, you won't be able to walk in or out the door. It's that big.
Bro, do you know how many Danios you could grow out in that thing?
I'm going to get 7.
1,000.
Oh, stopped. Cancelled.
7,000 at least.
That's funny. That I didn't see that. That's like you tell that a non-fish person that, like you there's even a tank that big that exists. To be like, that's
Well,
not.
considering the one behind me
crazy.
is about 700, 800 litres. Like
Yeah.
3,500 is 5 times that.
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy stuff.
Huge.
It's,
That's a ginormous aquarium.
That's like big for a public aquarium kind of thing. Like that would be a
Thomas,
large display for them.
Thomas asked if what his missus would think, and I said I think she would love it as a surprise Christmas present. And,
I told him just to buy it and then ask for it afterwards.
Yeah, I think these are all definitely appropriate responses to it,
I think
and
so too.
I can't see how it would go wrong.
Neither do I. Perfect idea. Get it done.
Flawless.
Yeah.
So, if anyone wants relationship advice, just let us know. We're all relationship experts, and pretty much, yeah, especially when it comes to fish tanks.
Yeah. Too easy, eh? Well,
Yeah.
I haven't had too much exciting stuff going on because very much quiet time of year at the moment. So trying kind of just keeping it all very low, I guess. So yeah, nothing that exciting's been happening really. Not gonna lie.
It's funny how I've noticed that too. Going up to Christmas, people buy less fish. All other retail
for
goes absolutely bonkers, but people just seem to switch off buying fish. I noticed when I sold a lot, Trade Me sales just dropped around this time of year.
We discussed this approximately this time last year.
Mm.
People care more about
podcasting.
buying things for their children, buying things for the other pets, like jackets to go on their dogs, going on holiday, enjoying their Christmas day, not going to work, and a whole lot more before they worry about their fish at this time of the year.
How fucking rude, eh? I think we should do a call out to all the people out there and say you guys are assholes and you should buy fish. Stuff the kids, stuff the not working, stuff all that stuff. You should buy fish, more fish.
To be fair,
For Christmas.
I do get plenty of like families and stuff at the moment getting stuff for kids, but not as like, it doesn't pick up the difference, if that makes sense. And also, they don't buy African siblings. They just buy like, guppies and like tetras and that kind of thing. So
Do you know why they don't buy African? Do you know why they don't buy African cichlids?
Because they want to spend like $200 max.
I'm sure you're going to tell us why.
Because they're dumb.
Oh,
yeah,
great. It was educational and
that was
philosophical.
not what I was expecting you to say. So
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say that. Awesome.
Look at me coming in with hot takes.
yeah, man.
So you're going to send up all your Frontosa, are you?
Well, I'm not trying to sell them, so that doesn't count.
But you just said they're done.
No, you just said, I said, why are people not buying African cichlids at this time of year? And I said, because they're dumb, but I'm not
I
selling
thought you
them.
liked Aussies.
But I'm not trying to sell them, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Well, you can, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Did anyone else have any other exciting news they wanted to discuss before we move on?
My
Yeah,
trophies haven't died.
Hey, progress.
yeah.
I lost one out of the lot, which I was probably expecting to lose at least one, but the rest looked pretty good. So yeah.
Nice. Those are those trophies you mentioned in the last episode, eh?
Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. I had a
Good to hear
massive
it.
problem with trying to get the tank clean though, which I've never
What do you
had
mean?
before. Like the tank was just full of shit, like just murky and horrible. And normally that happens sometimes when I've dropped the maintenance. So normally what I do is clean out the sponge filters and just suck a bit of the poo out, and then it goes crystal clear. I had to do that about 6 times to get the tank clear, which
Well, there's your
I've never
problem. You're
seen
using
before.
sponge filters.
But it had never happened on the other 50 odd tanks. Never.
That's
Like
random.
they'll go murky. I'd suck out the crap, clean out the sponge filter, and then crystal clear the next day for the next 4 months or something. No dramas. But this one, I had to do it like every day, sucking all the crap out and clean the filter, clean the filter, clean the filter.
Yeah,
Very
that's
weird.
really random. Probably just disturbed something that was all tucked down the back.
Don't know. Yeah, very weird. I need to get a gravel whack actually, but yeah,
No, just using the little length of hose, are you?
yeah, that's just shit. Not good.
Yeah. If it does the job.
Yeah,
Completely
slowly
true.
crap, but yeah.
All right. What were you going to say, sorry, Cam?
I was just going to say, there's somebody that's watching on the Facebook page has said that Ryan, he believes that the discus suit Ryan, and he should possibly branch out to discus, and then we should talk about plecos.
Sounds good. Do you
And,
know, before this episode, I was considering whether we do that follow-up catfish episode. But then Ryan seemed a bit grumpy, so I was like, maybe we shouldn't do that today.
Ryan always seems grumpy.
I think that discus are great fish because do you know why? Because
Why is that? Please
if
educate us.
you get bored, you can use them as sporting equipment as well. So they are a multi-use fish. So, and again, plecos are great because I still don't know if they contribute to your bio load if you never see them. So you can add a fish to your tank and it's like it's not even there. Brilliant.
Asking a real question.
Perfect solution.
Sure.
Just for the record, we at the Three Idiots podcast advocate for animal welfare, and we do not advise you to use your discus as sporting equipment in any
As actual
circumstance.
discus. Yeah. Probably keep the actual discus for that.
Ryan's comments are his own, and we will not be held liable to anything that he has said.
Yeah, please read our terms and conditions and slide at the bottom.
All right, sorry, I think the politician probably should have read that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He wouldn't have been that clear with it. He would have been, oh, maybe yeah, or something. Oh yeah, so yeah, yep. I didn't say that. No, I don't say that.
Can't argue with that. So I guess it's if no one else has anything notable to say, I guess that means it's time for the random question of the day.
Good to see you're not skipping it today.
So thought you were going to have some sort of crazy soundbite and go, dun, 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 random question, but you didn't. That's real disappointing.
I will one day when this is more high production, but until then, tough luck.
We're all sitting in our lounges.
Well, the main question is, what would you guys like for Christmas?
My 2 front teeth. Woo, hey-oh.
Classic.
I would like
Comedy
some coal or an orange or a straw hat.
Have you been a bad boy?
No, I've sent my Christmas list through to Kim, and it's all shit that I was going to buy anyway. So it's not very
How's
exciting.
Santa going to get it?
It's a light for my tanks, or a sump for my Holden, my 350 Chev, or
Jeez, that's a waste of money.
That's a different type of sump than the one we normally talk about.
Yeah, and there was something else for the Holden too. What was it?
Cheers.
I've forgotten. I've got seats for the Holden. They're good.
Humble guy.
No, something else. Don't know.
Nice.
Oh, keys. A set of keys.
That'll help.
Well, I've got an ignition key, but the ignition key does not open the door. And you
Oh,
can just
well,
buy a
that's-
full key set for probably cheaper than what it would cost me to go to a locksmith and get a second key cut and have 2 keys for it. So,
Yeah, can't argue with that. What about you, Cam? What do you want for Christmas?
In the noble words of Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is you. That's what I asked my wife for in that exact
All right,
oh,
moving on.
time.
wife / sister / let's get on it. Yeah.
In
Funny guy.
classic dad form, I've asked for nothing because I don't need anything. I've got everything that I need. Anything that I do need, I'll just go and buy myself. So I'm probably just going to get socks and links.
Hey, can't complain about socks and links. It
You
does
can
the
never
job,
get
doesn't
too
it?
much Lynx Africa.
Oh no! Bring on that link.
Yeah, man. Oh well, yeah. What was I gonna? Oh, I don't know exactly, but some sort of flowers for the garden or something like that. Probably been enjoying gardening, so it's been a good time.
Petunias.
No, like
Daisies?
hydrangeas or like roses or something. It's a good time.
Ooh.
Roses are horrible, way.
No, they're cool, man. It's good fun. I'll bring
Are
you
you
some next
sneaking-
time I've cut them off.
Are you sneaking secret poppies and secret marijuana plants in your fancy garden?
That's illegal. I know what you're talking about.
If you get a script, it's not illegal, I don't think.
That
Poppies
is such.
would be, but yeah.
That is such a politician answer.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say yes and you didn't say no. You just said that's illegal.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
he did.
I don't do
Illegal,
illegal
no
activities.
comment. That is such a politician answer.
Yeah, that's just making a random statement. That's not actually answering the question.
Yeah.
And then stating that you are the one source of truth.
I am the one source of truth.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
listening, don't do illegal stuff. Cam says no. All right. So we're on to the main topic for today.
Didn't you have another segment that we were doing? Didn't you bring in a third one last time?
Yeah, that was the feedback segment. No, the listener
right.
questions segment.
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
not gonna lie, we haven't got any questions yet, so we're gonna have to skip that. Awkward. If anyone's listening, email us your questions.
Or put it in the chat right now and we can do it straight away.
Or have they been
Exactly.
going on YouTube and no one actually answers it?
No, I checked the YouTube. There is no
Okay, cool.
questions. So the main topic for today is the main topic for today. I forgot it. I'm not gonna lie. The main topic for today is we're going to be talking about aquarium technology. So like high tech versus low tech, all the different like stuff basically you can get nowadays, and whether it's good or bad or indifferent, all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I thought it'd be interesting because we all know Ryan is very like heating his aquariums off his little fire underneath them, and then he would get angry, and so that's funny.
And I've got mice running around powering my ear pump, So
yeah, man.
Got a
But
nail
I
in
don't
your
want to.
aquarium to produce iron for your plants because you're a plant growing
He's
master.
a plant guru.
Yeah.
it's funny
Plant
because it's
attack
true.
master.
But yeah, I wanted to start off with one piece of equipment that I know that Ryan does use, and that is an Inkbird or a temperature controller. I was
I
wondering
love
if you
ink
could.
birds. Ink birds are the shit. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I was wondering if you could give us a bit of a rundown about what that is and how it works and why
There
you
you
use it
go.
and all this
Yeah,
kind of thing.
earlier.
There's one.
One of these?
It's
Yeah,
a box.
that's the one.
Yeah, that's great for a podcast. Good work.
Shut up, Dick. I was going to open it.
Well, it still doesn't help on a podcast.
Well, there's people watching you, fool.
Okay, so for those that aren't watching Cam open the box, an Inkbird is a device that you plug your heater into, and it controls the temperature of your tank. So it becomes the thermostat in your heater, turns the heater on and off, and maintains the temperature. In case you don't know, the usual thing that fails in the thermostat in the heater is the thermostat, and usually it sticks the heater on and cooks your fish. The good thing about a Inkbird is it has I don't want to get too into it, but it's got 2 relays in it, and both those relays fail off. So if and when it does fail, because eventually it will. I haven't had any fail. I've had one fail actually, but it was failed from new, and I got a new one straight away. But if it does fail, it'll fail off and not cook your fish, and then the alarm
Not
should
kick
go
them
off.
either.
Not cook them, yeah. Not cook your guami, so you don't want to cook guami.
No, apparently they're good eating.
You probably could cook discus because
you can get pickled gourami in jars.
Nice, good
Well,
story.
that's odd.
But also you can get a Wi-Fi one where you can connect up to your phone. I've got them. I've got all the
this exact model here.
That exact model there, the 306A, I believe.
308. This one is.
Oh, you got the one with the cooling for some reason, which
My
you didn't
one's
need.
fancier than yours.
You didn't need it, but anyway.
That's what you said.
The one that Cam's bought has a cooling output as well, so it can control a heater and a cooler.
I just think we'll just probably have to clarify that. The people at Inkbird sent that to me to do a review on it about a year ago, and that's the first time I've taken it out of the box. So I think technically this might be an unboxing, and technically this might now be our first paid sponsorship. So thank you, Inkbird. I'm sorry I didn't do much for you very well.
If Inkbird wants to sponsor us, hit us up, fam. It's not going to take much, I'm not going to lie.
And you could probably use an Inkbird to control a fan over the top of your tank if it gets too hot as well.
Yeah,
So
it's popular for marine people using like proper chillers as well, like the big refrigerator units. So
yeah, but I just like if I go away and Kim's looking after the fish for me, I can just log in, check what all the temperatures are in the fish room and stuff, especially but so ask her to go out and open the door whenever it gets too hot and stuff. So, you know, she hates me ordering around remotely, but it's fun for me. And the alarms are also helpful. They go off when it gets too hot and stuff. And yeah, love it.
yeah, nice.
They're great.
Oh.
They're great.
Well, we've had our first question in the chat that we will address. So,
how do you guys see this chat stuff? Because I don't even see anything. I'm like,
on the right where it says private chat, next to it says comments. So if you click comments,
I click comments. Oh shit! Those discus suit you. Maybe you should branch out. Let's talk.
I told you that.
The Putin of the podcast. Oh, the Putin.
So the question is, it says just Facebook user, which Cam can explain why again, but we don't know who you are, so apologies for not giving you a shout out. But it says, has anyone used deionized water instead of RO water? Have you guys ever done that?
Deionizing water is the stage you usually use after RO. It's usually called RODI. So you usually use reverse osmosis to remove 99% of the crap, and then you run it through a deionizing filter to remove the last little bit of the crap.
Yeah, I always thought it was like the extra step
for the polishing of the last step to get your TDS down.
Yeah,
usually.
Yeah. To be honest, I've never kept anything that has needed that. So I've never actually really even used RO water that much. So I'm not able to give you any insights on that side of the thing because it's just not really been applicable, unfortunately.
My thoughts were the water was too pure for most fish, and you had to go and remineralize it as you needed to actually give, because the fish will obviously need some minerals like calcium and all that sort of crap in the water. Well, the fish that I keep, I mean, if you had like trying to breed cardinals or something, they obviously come from a water with a very low TDS and very low pH. So
or the
you wouldn't
licorice
have to add,
guamis.
or the guamis, some of the guamis. But generally I'd say rainwater's probably betterish, but it does depend on where you live and if there's any big industry pumping shit out of smokestacks right next to your house, that's going to be bad.
Rainwater is good, but it depends. I find the trouble with rainwater is the collection methods, because people get all kinds of. Well, yeah, and then people get like all kinds of like crap in their tank. Like I've had someone who chucked in a whole bunch of rainwater and it was, I can't remember what it was, but the fish were too big to eat mosquito larvae, so they just had tons of mosquitoes in their house because the fish were too big to eat it, and so avoid that.
They need to put an insect screen on their fish tank, then they'll be sorted.
Man.
I know a
Hey.
guy.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm using RODI water for spawning tetras and other smaller stuff at the moment. So I make up about 200 or so liters at a time, and then add it to the tanks a couple liters at a time as required.
So you're using that though as a mix, aren't you?
No,
Not using it pure.
sorry, no, I'm not mixing it as it goes in. The tank's already got like tap water in it,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'm taking like a jug or two out of that, and then replacing it with the fresh RODI water to try and bring everything down at the same time.
Yeah, I mean you definitely could use it and then re-add all your traces to it and stuff. I mean that's what marine guys do.
Yeah.
They start off with RODI water because then they know that they're not got any nitrates or any crap in it, and then they add their salt so they can control exactly what is going into their aquarium and keep everything under control and stable, and add their calcium and all that stuff they add to it. The marine tanks, they go pretty crazy, iodine and all that.
Yeah, well, makes sense.
Water in Horowhenua is very hard. Well, that's probably because you live in Horowhenua. I know where that is, but these guys probably don't.
I've been to Horowhenua, so
there you go. I use a water deionizer as it's quick to make. Hydropower 3000. I've never heard of that. Yeah. There you go.
We'll have to look it up after this. Yeah, exciting times.
Because I thought I used to have a deionizing filter and a 3-stage RODI, and when I passed the water through the deionizing filter, it just destroyed the resin straight away if I didn't run it through the RO first, because the deionizing filter was having to work too hard to remove the crap.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's like too good at its job.
Well, no, it's just it's the polishing, not the workhorse,
not the heavy lifting. No, that makes sense. Well, I guess we should probably get back to the main thing we're going to talk about. So
that was technical.
What was?
That was on topic even. That was an on topic. That was an on topic, off topic discussion.
I suppose it was. Yeah.
Technology.
Well, I don't know. It's more technological than tree. So.
Tree.
Can you back that up? Can you back that up?
So yeah, I don't know if you guys had any other particular things you wanted to mention. But what
how come Facebook user doesn't have a name, but Thomas does have a name?
Because Thomas is on YouTube and Facebook user is on the Facebook group. I discussed that before. Ryan, pay attention.
Wake up.
If you're watching on the Facebook group, you have to register your name. Otherwise, it only comes up as Facebook user. If you're watching on YouTube, it comes up as your YouTube name. If you're watching on our Facebook page, it comes up as your Facebook registered name. But if you're watching it off the group, you have to register when you log in or when you click on to watch it.
How confusing.
Well, not really. We've discussed this multiple times when you kept on coming up on my streams as Facebook, and I told you.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Helen. So what
also,
I was going to say is,
Helen, you're not my favorite person for not liking my photo on. Just calling you out right there. You are not my favorite person right now.
Brian was so sad that he didn't win that competition.
That was
so we've got 5 people watching, and you've had to go at 2 of them. Great work.
Makes sense. So what I was gonna say is the next thing that I find is like one of the pieces of technology that like pretty much everyone uses. It doesn't matter what kind of fish you're keeping, and like a lot more people use it than other things. But fair enough. So Helen said, and that's supposed to worry me. And who can argue with that? Oh, there we go. Hey, we can even get chats up in the screen.
Well, it's not supposed to worry you because I really don't care that much. But I was really upset. I thought you were a fan of the podcast and you'd try and see some podcast content going and populating into other media,
Yeah, makes sense.
You're definitely the Putin of this podcast, right?
Well,
What?
I was wanting to talk about was actually topical, was lighting timers. So, do you guys use them?
Yep. Lots and
I
lots of them.
do, and I have a
We've
funny.
got two pieces of technology that Ryan actually uses. This is crazy stuff.
I have a funny story about lighting timers that I will share.
I think
I
you
may
got
have
a
already
funny
shared
story
it.
about a hideous picture as
I
well,
don't
don't
know.
you?
It's not a hideous picture; it's a beautiful picture. Also, that photo was taken when I was taking care of some business in Young Cam's toilet in his store. So that's what's funny about it. But anyway, I bought some timers and
Train wreck.
like my
Focus.
like my background is I'm an electrical engineer and I did all sorts of technical stuff on plane and like aircraft engineer and all that sort of stuff. And
What a humble guy.
I bought these lighting timers from Bunnings, and I spent ages trying to get them to work, but they were just turning off at the wrong times and doing all this sort of stuff. And then I was so confused, and they were all doing the same thing. And then I rang the technical help for them. And as I'm talking to the technical help guy, I realized that I was setting like the time. It was in 24-hour time, and I was setting it like from 6 till 10 a.m. rather than 6 till 10 p.m.
Oh, that's
And
good.
and as I was talking to the guy, I started off the conversation going, "I'm probably an idiot," and then as I was talking to the guy, I was scrolling through a time, and I was just like, it's in 24-hour time. I've just realized my problem. And he was like, try not to say you're an idiot. You know, I could tell he was like, oh, I'm glad we figured it out. I'm really happy to help you and stuff. But he was thinking like, oh my God, you're a thunder muppet. What are you even doing? That's what he was thinking in his head. So
It's
that's
funny
my
'cause
funny
it's-
story on.
If it's military time for the guy who
Yeah,
was in the military.
yeah. And it was so obvious, but I was just so angry with these things. It took me a couple of weeks, and it was so funny. I just laughed
Oh,
at
so
myself. I thought that was
that's
stupid.
Ryan's top tip is make sure you know the lighting system, the type of time that they're using on the timers. But
I actually almost
makes
threw
sense.
them out and bought the turny roundy ones where you push down the segments because they were way easier to use.
Oh, the analog ones.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose they're simple but effective.
They do
They're the
work,
ones that
but
I've got.
You what? Sorry.
They're the ones that I've got.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't actually have any operating myself at the moment, but a lot of clients have them. But in the shop, it's all done by hand.
Thomas said get one
yeah.
with an app. With an app. Oh, that'll be cool.
Ryan loves a good
you're,
app.
If you're playing with a planted aquarium, a light timer is like the number one investment you can do to start with. Plants like consistency, and if the light goes on at 8 a.m. and then turns off at 5 p.m., they get used to that, and you'll get better growth from that as opposed to sporadically on and off and different light cycles and stuff like that. So I personally think a light timer is like one of the best investments you can do if you're going to set yourself up a planted aquarium.
And the other thing that's good about them is they're so cheap as well. It's like,
$10.
Depends what you want to get. If you get one of those little analog ones, they're like, I don't know, $10 or something. And like even the smart plugs with the apps is like $20 or something like that. Like it's not like some of the other stuff we have and we'll talk about is like hundreds of dollars or anything. It's like, yeah, pretty cheap.
But we're talking really basic turn on, turn off ones, eh? A lot of lights you can actually download an app and go in through the magic of sending stuff through space and connect to it and set up all the different. You can get like real technical with it.
Yeah, you can change like the intensity and the spectrum and stuff like throughout the day, which is pretty cool. Like if you're doing like marine or real fancy like planted tank or something, that'd be cool. But for me, it's just on or off is all I've needed. But I mean, there's some real cool stuff you can do. So yeah, that's our light timers chat for you all, I guess. It's definitely on the list of Three Idiots recommends. So it's probably not a big list. So may as well jump on that bad boy. What do you guys reckon? What would you guys say is the next best thing that you could add to your tank in the way of technology that's going to add a lot of value to people?
I am a massive fan of the chips that are in the FX range of filters. I know you don't like them because you're not strong enough to lift them up to do any maintenance on them.
The what?
Oh yeah, hang on. Yep, we did have a funny in our group chat this week. Someone was commenting on one of the suppliers and saying how they weren't very good, and Cam
Never.
Inbred made a funny that saying that he only didn't like that supplier because he couldn't lift an FX filter, and it was really funny. And he had his funny undies on that day, and I laughed. It was so good. That's my story.
That's not the only reason I don't like the Fluval
I'm glad
filter.
you clarified that.
Pretty much is. It pretty much is.
Yeah.
Pretty much
No,
is.
it's,
You know, like
it's one of the
been-
reasons, but it's not
It's
the
been
only reason.
scientifically proven that that's it. That's
Yeah, I
Motion's
think
carried.
the chips in the FX range have like totally changed how canister filters work, and more companies.
What do you think?
need-
Chips?
Yeah.
What's that?
They've got little computer chips, so like you plug it in and it turns on without you having to purge it. They turn themselves off once a day and purge out all the air. So
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't think it's got that much technology in it, but yeah, it is. The
it's more
design of them,
technology than your
the design of them,
filters.
the design of them with the water going to the bottom so that they can purge themselves is definitely a game changer.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And yeah, that stopping every so often to purge the air out is a good idea, unless you first get one and you think it's broken.
Yeah.
Which I did when I first got one. And I was like, what the hell's this thing doing? It's turned off. Oh no, because I bought it second hand as well. I was like, oh no, I bought a broken one. And it turned back on. I was like, oh. And then I Googled it. I was like, oh, okay, there you go.
It's
Didn't
supposed
come
to
with
do
a
that.
menu or anything. You know, yeah.
I know it's not chip related, but also I like the fact that you can plug your drain pipe into the bottom of them, turn the tap on, and do your water change straight out of the filter, which in turn cleans out some of the muck at the bottom of your filter at the same time.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
But of course,
Even
you don't have to like FX filters because you can't lift them. It's okay because everybody else knows that they're actually really good.
Like, there's good parts about it, but there's lots of things I don't like about it.
The worst thing about them is, but I guess that's probably only FX5 related. I haven't owned an FX6, but the clips around the top are terrible on FX5s.
That's one of the reasons I don't like them.
And they break.
I've gone through about 15 of them in the past 2 years.
How are you? I've never broken one yet. I have heard that it's a very common problem, but I've never broken one.
I don't actually break the clips, but the plastic bit that holds it in.
Yeah, I've never broken a single one of them.
Fuck, they just crack. Like, you look at them funny and they cut in half.
No, never, not once.
Yeah,
but I know that it's really commonly said that they break or snap or crack or whatever. Not once have I done that.
I do imagine
well, now
you could go on.
That.
You could probably go on AliExpress and buy 500 of them for like $20, and then you'll be sorted for the rest of your life. So it is an easy problem to get around. You know?
Well, I actually used you can use a nut and a screw and a washer and make your own one, but I probably wouldn't recommend that because I don't want to be liable if it goes wrong. But it does kind of work. But yeah, I do like the FX. Like something as simple as like having the pump at the bottom. I don't know why that's just not common practice now. Like, surely we know that's a better system than having it at the top. Like,
they've probably patented it and probably won't be able to copy it. Would be my guess.
I'm sure you could figure something out somewhere around it. Like,
I don't think a patent something so it's like that. But anyway, I'm not a patent lawyer.
Yeah, it is very. It's just so simple and easy. And then you've also got
that motor's modular too. You can just unscrew it. It'll probably cost you an arm and a leg, but you could get a new motor and just screw another motor on there. You know.
Yeah, it's always good to, because the stuff breaks all the time. It's good to be able to just change it out so easily.
again, I've never broken
never-
a single motor on them.
I broke one of the ceramic shafts because I dropped it.
That's a you problem.
Nice.
Do you want to know a
Yeah,
funny
so it's
story
my fault.
about me thinking I had broken an FX filter though?
Is this the one that you told? Oh yeah, no.
Probably.
Probably people don't remember it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I got an FX5,
I don't remember it.
thought it wasn't working. I'd had it for ages, thought it wasn't working, got real pissed off at it, swapped it for a bottle of Jack Daniels. Turns out there was just like a zip tie rubber band stuck around the impeller. So the guy that got it just cleaned it up, and away he was laughing.
Didn't you just give it to someone?
No, I swapped it for a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh right. Oh,
Yeah.
still.
Well, at least you could lift the bottle of Jack Daniels. That's the main thing. Like,
I don't have the problem lifting the canister filter. Cameron does.
and a bottle
Yeah,
of
I
Jack
do.
Daniels.
I'll admit it.
A bottle of Jack Daniels gets lighter with use, not heavier.
Exactly.
So you should probably stick with Jack Daniels and not FX filters, young Cam.
we need the fluval Jack Daniels collab. They need to make one in the shape of a like filter or something, of a bottle or something.
And while I have added vodka to an aquarium, I don't think I've added Jack Daniels before, so I don't know if it's going to work so well.
I think yet is the word. But yeah, no, I like them, and I do like I like any canister filter that has like a built-in way to get bubbles out. Essentially, like that's why I like the Sarah ones. You just push a button, or like the Eheim ones have buttons, and that's like just so much easier.
Don't get me started on those freaking Eheim professionals.
Why?
Oh, the one that I have in the shop is I hate that. I hate it.
That's why. That's exactly. See, that's exactly how I feel about Fluval.
Like I have specific canister filter. It just does never work. Just don't get me started on it. I spent like 2 hours yesterday trying to get it going again.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
I think the Eheim ones are probably. You'd probably say that overall they're better than the FXs.
Eheim Classics are great.
They're also
Eheim's way better than Fluval.
FX, so you know.
Yeah,
I think the FX ranges are above all the other ones. But if you go like the 3 series versus like the classic series, give me the classic any day of the week.
Yeah, the classic's good stuff, man.
You're talking the little green round things.
Yeah,
like the tall cylinder ones.
2213s or whatever they are, something.
Yeah, your basic Eheim Classic to your standard Fluval 3 series or 4 series. I'll take an Eheim Classic any day of the week.
Yeah, man. They're
water
good
goes
stuff.
in, water gets clean, water comes out.
Small though, aren't they?
They're not that small. They're just very because they're like a lot taller than a lot of other ones. They're like big cylinders.
Yeah,
that's kind of annoying. It is sometimes hard to fit them.
So we need to get on to. We'll keep on the canister filter. Those Hypermax 4500s. I've seen them out there too, and I've been like, they look good.
Yeah,
I don't have anything to put them on, but man, they look massive.
Yeah,
I have zero intention of buying one.
Yeah, I would definitely look at it if I
had a tank to put it on.
Something to put it on, but you know, it looks interesting at the very least. So, what more?
And Helen was also talking about inline flow heaters.
Hey, how about I do this?
Oh, we can see it even.
That is one thing that I know absolutely nothing about because I've never used one, but they do sound like they'll be really good.
Yeah, it's really, especially for like, you know, the aquascaping crowd and stuff, just keeping it out of sight is good. And then also just like obviously maximizing flow over it is gonna be better in terms of kind of heat distribution. So yeah, I mean the problem is there is like some it's difficult to get decent ones. Like there's some of those random like off-brand like Chinese ones floating around, and then there's like Sun, and then I think
Jabo do one as well, don't they? Does Jabo do one, or is it Sun? I'm
probably
thinking of.
Aquarium
Sun does one. Yeah.
Remy at Aquahouse. There we go.
Aquahouse.
Yeah, they've begun bringing them in. So the only one I've used I bought secondhand and it was faulty, so my experience on them hasn't been that flash. But I have all intention of putting one on the planted tank that I set up in the shop this week or last week to see how they go. So
yeah, I think they're really cool. They're cool
in the
idea.
aquarium. Like it's horrible. So the more,
See, man, just put a stick in front of it and you'll be fine.
Put a stick in front of it.
Yeah, man. That's why they invented them. But yeah, I really like them. I think it's
for dogs to chew.
You what? Sorry.
I'm sure they invented sticks for dogs to chew.
Sounds like a lie. But I think the inline heaters is one that should be really, I think, bigger in New Zealand. The only problem is I think they're not, from what I've seen.
We don't have the
they're not
range at the
cheap.
moment in New Zealand as well. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, like with a lot of products, we just don't get that many because for whatever reason,
Small
the
market
importers
and
just
that.
don't bother bringing it in.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
So
they won't sell, so we're not going to bother.
So here's my theory on why we don't have a lot of stuff.
All right. Wait, hold on. I forget my tinfoil hat. Hold on.
The New Zealand fish market is ridiculously small. And so all of the wholesale importers that can bring in fish stuff, they'll spend round numbers, $50,000 buying a pallet of fish stuff that's sitting on it for a year, or $50,000 on a pallet of dog stuff that they sell in 2 months. Again, round numbers. So why are they going to buy the fish stuff? So things like
they'll have an MOQ too so
yep,
it's like
100%. Yep.
So why would we
What
bring
does
in
MOQ mean for the listeners, Mister?
a minimum order quantity? So they might have to buy like 50 or 100 of these inline filters, inline heaters, and they're like, we don't want to have 10 grand in stock sitting there for 3 years. You know, so
that's why I think there's a lot of things that we don't have because they don't buy them. Then, like, if only 1 or 2 shops buy them, they're still on the fridges. They don't hit their minimum sale quantity, and they just get taken off their system because they're not making the money on them. So things like inline heaters, I think, are exactly like that. So it's taking a smaller importer distributor to bring them in because they have less stringent things that they need to sort of tick the boxes for, and they're doing more for the hobby as opposed to the business aspect, if that makes sense.
I think there's another thing that we didn't consider is that also a lot of the stuff that we have, like just day-to-day hobby stuff, is either European or American, and like with the volumes that we deal with for just the amount of people, like shipping it to New Zealand is quite expensive, and then on that small volume, it puts the price over where people are going to want to pay, which
totally.
obviously makes sense. But then it means instead of bringing it and just having it available really expensive, it makes more sense just to not bring it from a business
and the hard
standpoint.
part is that they could sell like hotcakes, but most of them are just more interested in bringing in dog food and cat food.
It's because it's where the money is, man.
Yeah.
It is difficult, but
anyway, we won't be despondent. We won't be despondent about it. There's definitely some on the market. Remy's bringing them in, and so is some entrepreneurial people that are bringing in the cheaper ones from China, which may or may not be good. I don't know. I've never actually used them, so I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to say. You could probably still use one of them with an ink bird, but then it would defeat the purpose of putting probes in your tank.
I think a lot of the inline heaters have got their own, essentially, an ink bird sort of system on them.
Yeah, but it'll be. What I'm saying is, how reliable is that? We don't know yet. Yeah. So you could use an ink bird on it to add that extra thing. The Aquawell ones, whatever they are, seem to be pretty well reviewed around the world, so they're probably pretty good. You probably find information on Google on them, but the other ones, don't know.
The Aquawell ones as well is good because the other thing that I've seen is like previous to when they were around, there wasn't any like big heaters, you know. Like I think the biggest one we could get was like 150 watts or something. But now there's like big ones. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't think they didn't used to come in very big ones, but now the Aquawells go up a lot higher, you know, strength than what was previously available.
Helen's just made a wee comment about Aquahouse. They've done so much.
I'll definitely get behind that. Yeah,
100%. The work that Remy's done for the hobby in the last year has been phenomenal, and it's totally game changed and opened up so many options for general hobbyists. It's brilliant. It's kind of brought us close to where the rest of the world are, but not quite. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's
definitely and even though I don't want to support aquascaping because that's just a whole other thing, but Remy seems real good. I watched him on your live when he came on. Just an interesting guy, and he's a hobbyist, and he's real passionate, and he's just bringing in real cool shit. So yeah, and it's going to be expensive, Thomas. It's just what it is. But yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
We're all in business in one shape, one way, or one shape, or what do we say? One way or the other. And you've got to make money somehow.
Get
one
it
shape
out.
or form, that's the one. That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, good.
What other tech have we got? What are we going to talk about? Cam Inbred, you've got to talk about something. Go.
I just did. I spoke about the FX chips in the filter. It's your turn.
I'm going to throw out something. This is not like for everyone, but I found when I first got this tank behind me, it came with a really cheap plug-in AC. Well, plug-in, they all plug in an AC return pump. That you just plugged in, and when I was in my bed, which is in the bedroom over there somewhere, it was humming away. Like I could hear the AC hum of it, the vibrations and stuff of it, and I couldn't get rid of it. Also, the gurgling was really loud from the tank, and I couldn't change the flow easily. So I bought a DC return pump, and I was like, "This is cool." So there's no noise. There's none of that 50 hertz hum that comes with the AC ones, and there's and you can change the flow just by pushing a button to change the flow to whatever you want. It's safe. It dials it up. It dials it down. Amazing. So good.
So what's maybe if you could go a little bit more deeper in the differences between what is AC, what is DC, and why are they different when it comes to the pumps?
Well, AC power is what comes in the power line, and it's well, how do you describe AC power? It alternates. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down 50 times a second. And then DC power is basically what your car has, which is just a solid voltage, no oscillations. So I don't want to get into how the motors work, but it basically means you can control them. And the DC pump has a little controller that converts that AC into DC and then makes it go better.
Yeah.
It's quiet. It's adjustable. You can change the voltage, the power coming out of their little unit safely.
Yeah.
Because often the thing with safe to sump pumps is you put a big tap in there and then just restrict the flow.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not good for the pump. It'll just kill it eventually because it's working hard and then it's got a big restrictor there. So it's just not good for it. But the DC ones actually turn them down. But
yeah.
Thomas,
So
what about the crossflow pumps? I think they're a DC pump as well. That's just adjustable with an app, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. That's like a big reef keeping one, eh?
Crossflow pumps, I don't know. They're probably DC as well, I'd say, potentially. If they're controllable, but they can control AC as well. It's just trickier.
Yeah. I don't know too much about how electricity works, to be honest, but I know they do exist and they're pretty cool. That's another one that's
the key thing with electricity is you want to try and keep all the smoke within the boxes that you're using. Okay, you don't want to release the smoke. That's bad.
So that's like the idiot's guide of how to make it work is don't light on fire.
Keep the smoke inside things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was amazed the difference that this pump made, and I bought a Jabo one because they were quite well reviewed, and it was cheap as, you know.
Yeah,
and
yours was a pretty big one as well.
Yeah, mine's huge. And I've also, the reason I was happy to get a cheaper one is I've got the AC one sitting there as a backup. You know, so if something happened to it, but I think I bought mine for $35 second hand or something off some marine keeper. You know.
Yeah. So it's like nothing.
It's just ridiculously cheap, and more importantly, I'm not lying in bed listening to them with a 50 hertz hum that's vibrating through the house. So, yeah.
Keeps Kim happy.
She didn't hear it, but
oh nice.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, too much noise, eh?
What have you gone and got, Brad? Have you got some toys in, Brad?
Cam's got some props for this next segment.
Yeah,
it's great for a podcast to have props.
There's people watching, Dick. I figured that these are kind of new technology like the preset heaters.
Yeah.
Just plug them in and they set straight away at whatever temperature you're meant to.
Have you got? I've seen. I haven't used them, but I've seen a lot of shit online about them not being that great. Have you guys used them and found that good or not?
I'm using the Aqua One ones, and I've had no issues with them. I've sold a lot of the thermo presets, the Eheim ones, and had no issues. But I've had very little issues. I have had one returned because it wasn't doing what it was meant to do.
No, but that's probably normal.
Potentially, like it might have just been a bad batch or whatever.
It's hard to tell because I may have just noticed one or two people complaining about one or two bad ones out of a 1,000 sold, which is normal. Yeah. But yeah, I was just wondering if you guys had used them much.
Yeah, and then I've got a titanium heater. So these come in with 500 watts, and they've got like the heat controlling panel on the outside and stuff like that as well, which is kind of cool.
That's essentially got an inkbird type thing on it, or just a temperature to like a
I believe they've got something like that. It doesn't have any alarms. It does have it says Aqua One app, so it might not be. I haven't used one. I haven't even pulled one out of the box yet. So, and there's also.
But that's cool that it goes up to 500 watts, so you can do it use it on a big tank or a couple of them in a real big tank, you know.
Yeah, and the Fluval E series, which I think are one of the best heaters around, which don't come into the country anymore. I thought they were brilliant. So they came with a plastic cover, so for like your big boisterous fish and turtles, they were already protected. But they came with an LCD screen, and like if the water was too hot, they'd be red. If the water was fine, it was green. If it was too cold, it'd be blue. If there wasn't enough flow going through it, would flash low flow. Like I thought
so
that was quite cool.
They don't bring them in anymore?
No, they don't bring them in anymore.
So it's a shame. I saw them everywhere for a while, eh? Maybe they didn't sell well.
Mustn't have. I liked them. I sold more of them than the Eheim Jaegers. So, don't know.
That's cool. I've seen a few around internationally recently that's got all these different like warnings and like you know, the interactive displays and all this kind of thing. I think it's, you know, natural. It's better than the glass thick with like the analog turning dial that we're straight out the 80s.
That, like a heating stick is a heating stick, and the technology inside of that actual thing to make it warm, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But the technology that comes
controlling
additionally to that is where that
turning
can kind of be helpful as well. Yeah.
I mean, this tank here behind me is real cool. It's got a display panel up here.
Yeah.
And it's actually got down the bottom a couple of heater outputs and a special plug, and it's got a thermometer, a temperature probe in the return, and I can actually plug the heaters into that and set the temperature on that dial, and it will tell me what the temperature is and control it itself.
Nice.
The only thing is it's only rated to 500 watts.
Okay.
And this is an 800-litre tank plus a sump, so I don't feel safe plugging my 600 watts worth of heater into the 500 watts. Because I don't want to risk blowing up this controller here because I won't get another one. You know, so I still run an Inkbird.
So I'm guessing that they feel that a 500 watt heating capacity is enough to run that aquarium then. So the 1-for-1 rule isn't right.
It's probably made in. It's probably from Asia somewhere, and they probably don't need a lot of heating.
Yeah, good point.
It may be fine up to 1,000 watts, but I just don't want to risk blowing up the controller because I'm never going to get another one. You know,
I don't want to risk it for the brisket.
So I ran an Inkbird, but it would be cool if I used it.
Aren't you an electrical engineer? Surely you can figure something out to.
Do you mean you run one of these?
Yeah.
Hey, Inkbird, we're looking for a sponsor. Sorry, couldn't help myself then. I was just being Cam.
Oh, everyone just send this video to Inkbird.
It's like the one company you don't shit on.
I don't shit on anyone, man. I would never do
that. See ya, Helen.
All right, see ya, Helen. All right. So, is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? Any other exciting pieces of technology?
I want to say, you can get fancy lights these days, and instead of having like these big, long, glowing tubes, they've got like lots of little tubes in them, and they shine downwards and stuff. They're pretty cool, and they can do all sorts of crazy stuff. They like these LEDs and stuff. Damn.
I'm laughing at the way that you described that, but the reality is, like, when you and I probably both started fish keeping. Big duty T8s and T12s were all there was.
Oh yeah, it was T8s when I started. Yeah,
my
they
first-
were
my
a
first-
fortune.
Proper planted tank I set up was metal halides, and they cost so freaking much to run. The plants grew amazingly, but far out, my power bill tripled.
I remember once I went to a garage sale and this guy had like 30 metal halides there from like a roof of a big massive building, and I bought them all and sold them all to guys to put on their fish tanks. yeah.
Hustling.
Nowadays
can't
you
even give them
just
away
throw
now.
it out. You'd throw them
Can't
out.
even
Yeah.
give them away. Yeah.
God,
But
the
yeah,
amount of random fittings I got sitting around the shop that I have tried to give them to people and no one wants it.
Yeah.
Makes sense to be fair.
But
LEDs
yeah,
all the way.
LED lights are awesome. The harder part with it is just finding the right spectrums and stuff. Like for Kim's tank in the classroom, I went in and checked on that the other day, and I just went to Bunnings and bought a whole bunch of random LED light fittings that were like warm white or whatever, and chucked them over it, and all the plants had died, which is weird. Plants actually didn't eat them, but all the Java ferns died. And I was like, what? The only thing I can think
That's
of
a
is
skill to kill Java fern.
this lighting must be
Well
so
done.
bad. It must be so bad because it's growing green spot algae, but all the Java ferns dying, and the fish ain't eating it.
It's probably too
So-
strong.
They came out of a little tank with a bloody LED on it that was on all day, shining on it. So they
Probably
grew
got
like weeds.
lumens or something along those lines. Lighting's not my strong point, but I'm going to
Yeah,
try and sound technical. It's you've got about 180 lumens, and they only need about 120. So you're probably
Right.
giving it about 3 times the amount of luminings that it needs, which is why it's destroying it. And then the green spot's loving it because it's getting absolutely everything that it wants.
But
Did
yeah,
I
I
sound
think
convincing? Did I sound convincing?
either that or I was thinking that the spectrum was wrong because they are literally just 15. They were on clear. One was on clearance for $15, and one was like $12 or something. So it's been like
So
30
it's top
bucks
of the line stuff.
And one of them's like it's got a fitting and then the bulb underneath, so it's designed to be screwed onto a roof, and we just got it lying sideways on the top of the tank. So it's shining basically backwards, but also downwards as well. So, yeah.
Straight into the kids' eyes.
And I had to replace the lid on it with that polycarbonate bloody twin core roofing stuff because they broke the glass lid, and I was like, well, that's not safe in a classroom. So yeah.
Yeah, probably makes sense.
Have we talked about DC pumps?
Yep.
Whatever.
You
I
missed
just
it
did.
when you're off trying to find your heaters.
Yeah, I talked
Whatever.
about them. They're
Okay,
amazing. Love them. Definitely rate them. Love them.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Because that's been a massive change, having the ability to control your flow and all that kind of stuff from just
Not such an issue for you guys, but the noise from them is awesome. It's so much better too.
Yeah,
You don't get that pump hum that we talked
Yep.
about. So yeah.
so quiet.
Yeah.
Have we talked about dosing pumps?
Nope.
I don't know a lot about dosing pumps, but yeah.
I thought you'd know everything about it, being your master a master plant grower.
My fish dose
It's
the
a
plants for me.
marine thing, eh?
Yeah, it's getting very
Originally.
much it's getting into the freshwater plant world now as well.
Seems.
Yeah, people fill up their bottles and let their aquarium get pumped full of go-go juice for their plants to suck on every day.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So
Again,
yeah,
with
it's for dosing the
is key.
fertilizers and stuff automatically. Yeah.
Consistency is key, and giving the plants exactly everything they need all the time, and away they go.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. Sweet as. Oh well.
But they're a good idea. You could hook them up. You could fill up a bottle, and it just chucks so many jigger mils of whatever in there, and
So many squirts of the good stuff.
yeah. I
Does
mean,
the
you got to
job.
really know what you're doing to do that sort of stuff, but it all can be done.
Ryan, have you heard of these things called test kits?
No.
Because that'd be a technology that probably beyond your knowledge and beyond what you use.
Yeah.
You don't use them? You don't know about that technology?
What is this white man's magic you speak of?
That's magic. That's racist. No? That didn't fly? Oh.
Not funny.
I did
Tough
get
crowd.
some off cam. I did get some
Tough
off cam, and
Tough
I
crowd.
used them once, and that's the end of it. Yeah. The
So it's
KH,
just like
a GH,
pH, I
and a
think.
pH. Yeah. I got a pH meter somewhere and a TDS meter somewhere. Don't know where.
I know
Does the job?
where mine are. Mine are sitting right in front of my honey gourami tanks right now.
Gummy.
Nice. Guami.
Okay. Well,
Just
what
feels
other
like it's
technology we're
going
talking about?
to a premature dying end.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
Yep.
died out. What I'd
Yeah,
like
I
to
do have
see
to
is a
go,
cool,
so
a cool thingy you could plug into your thingy and measure like your ammonia and your nitrates and everything like live. That'll be really cool. And I did
I think they
when
do exist, but I think they're like thousands.
when I was at uni, I actually considered designing and building one for my electrical engineering degree, but I just couldn't be bothered. And I
Man,
realised that
you are so humble today.
what's that?
Casually dropping these. Oh yeah, when I went to uni and got my electrical engineering degree. What a humble guy.
But what I did instead was I realised that
Drank
the
piss and
project.
chased girls.
No. But we were in uniform.
Yes.
We were in Air Force uniform at uni because previous guys had ruined it for everyone. But anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, I realised that the project was 75% paperwork and only 25% making a working project. So I just did a really good paperwork and then gave them an empty box basically and got a good mark. So yeah,
Does the job.
And then all my mates complained that I got a good mark and all the marks got reviewed because these worked and they spent like too much time on it. So yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
I've now established why you give me shit about not even trying to do it DIY LED lights, which absolutely petrifies me because you've got like an electrical engineering degree and have done all this electrical engineering stuff in the Air Force and stuff like that. And here I am, putting my hand in tank water, which have got broken heaters and shooting myself across the room. That's why I don't play with electricity. And you're like, that's sweet as man. You'll be fine.
And you also decided to put all your PowerPoints underneath your water, but that's a really cool idea. Anyway,
I'm not an electrical engineer.
Anyway,
All right.
we digress. I think Cam wants to go.
Yeah, I do need to go. So
I don't think
Sweet
anyone
as.
else is still watching. So yep, all good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. And yeah, if you
we'll
want
see
to
you in
get
the
your
next one.
if you want to get your Cam inbred cups in time for Christmas, you better hurry up and order them.
Hit us up.
So,
Yeah.
People can't order things if we don't have anywhere for them to order from.
If
They can
someone
email
wants
us.
something, we can figure it out. Send us an email. Send us a Facebook message. We'll figure it out. If anyone wants them, we'll figure it out.
Also, if anyone wants to design them, let us know.
We'll figure that out.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. See ya.
All good.
Right, bye.
See you later.